big fight against the boss, Andrew Tate. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I've watched his sparring footage. He fought like 30 bums. Like, I could go beat up 30 bums and post it on the internet. And I look at he's fighting like little guys. Like,
beating Andrew Tate obviously puts you, I mean, just skyrockets you. Like, what would be the next thing after that? I mean, it's almost like, who says no to fighting you after you take that scalp?
But if I can't have Conor McGregor, my next step is going to be the just because, like,
you getting into a scuffle with Nate Diaz,
I just get decked in the side of the face by, I think, kill shot, and then I look up and there's like 5 dudes just running at me. I'm about to get jumped by Nate Diaz and all his boys.
He hasn't fought since 2020. Then he's making you cut to a certain weight. You wanted 10 rounds, I think, right? And he's making 6.
Yeah. And if he was so confident that he was going to beat me, then why do we have, a weight clause in a heavyweight bout? Why are we fighting under 200 pounds? Why is there a rehydration clause? Why is it, his arena, his judges, his referee? Why did he?
Woo! Let's go, baby. We're starting off Overdogs with a bang because we just posted some stuff of me and Mac Malley having an argument over who's better, Zuck or Moneyberg. And I wasn't on anyone's side, but I was just saying. Anyways.
You weren't on anybody's side, bro. I've never seen somebody glaze another human being that hard like you did with Derek Moneyberg.
No, you know what it was? It was just all your guys' hate and negativity from the moment he came on. Before you ever got to know him, it was the hate seeping out of your pores that was digging into my skin, and it made me want to stand up for him.
Nobody said a single thing about Moneyberg.
You didn't have to say anything. You did
in a negative light.
Don't say you didn't say anything before I release the group chat. Okay, don't say you didn't say anything and make me sound like I'm lying.
I did say when he came on, you were like, he's a baller. He's got $5 million worth of cars. And I was like, that could be like $150K worth of cars because it's an old-ass Beamer and an old-ass Rolls Royce.
You exaggerate so much both ways. I said 150 million. You said 150,000. The exaggeration gap is insane there.
Listen,
you see how that plays out?
I'll just say this. I thought there was potentially a payoff involved with all the UFC gambling, deal going on. I thought you might have been paid off by Moneyberg.
Speaking of that, the fights that are coming out that they're saying they're checking in on, my mom said something about there was a $16 million bet on that fight that got hit.
Total.
That's why Dana called UFC 16 million total.
Yeah, it was total wagered, but I would venture to say that's a very large amount of money wagered on a fight of that magnitude.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't dig in, but that seems like a lot of money wagered on and I believe that was just at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Oh my gosh. So just local in town. I mean, yeah, there's something.
Or through maybe through the Hard Rock app. But either way, like a lot of money for like a kind of an obscure fight.
It made me think we got to watch out in dirty boxing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely got to watch out. People are going to be, they said somebody better check on the Nelk boys or something.
Yeah, I think they had some kind of involvement with him. He was going to be like a sponsored athlete of theirs, but I don't think it ever panned out. Yeah, look, man, there's a lot of speculation going around. You know what I mean? Now, but like we talked about last episode, it's like the sad thing about this, right, is like this sport that we all love. Every time somebody loses a bet now, it's going to be like, you saw him, he fainted, and then he did this, and then he took a dive. Like, it's going to be every fight for quite a while.
Let me get your opinions on something real quick. Okay, one thing I've been seeing all that discourse online, the UFC is not involved. Like, why there's no way. The UFC...
No,
what
the
do you
UFC
think,
is not involved. Somebody is pulling a scam or a fast one to dig in and get at the UFC's revenue.
Why would the UFC risk doing that? They already make their money.
No chance.
It's going to hurt.
Around shaking back deals to make. These people are ridiculous. The UFC is not involved, and you're not going to cut a fight. It's not their fault. They're not doing it.
No, they just signed over $1 billion a year on a distribution deal, right? Like, you can't wager enough. Dana can't wager enough money. Nobody within the UFC organization can wager enough money for it to make any sense whatsoever. Now, you know, are there UFC employees betting on sports? Yeah, probably, yeah. But are they fixing fights? Absolutely not. There's no way in hell you can convince me otherwise.
Same.
Right, they're not fixing fights. There's another entity. There's a third party that is playing a game, and they're gambling, and they're taking their shots at this stuff till they find out or know who that might be. And it's a new lane for some, you know, hardcore scammers. What are those videos that come out? They say unethical ways to make money. Or something, or to get things done. There was a guy who went in a tattoo parlor, and he's like, I want to get something on my dong, and the guy's like, well, I gotta do some trimming, and he's like, all right. And then when he finished trimming him, he's like, no thanks, I don't want the tattoo anymore.
Bro,
it was like unethical ways to get things done or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're you know, UFC fighters in general aren't, you know, paid exorbitant amounts. If somebody feels like, yeah, I can go in and pay a guy $50,000, or what the one guy say that he was offered like 70K, you know, 70K, and they can make, you know, a couple $100,000 off of it. It's a no-brainer play for those guys. Like, this has been around since the existence of sports in general.
Yeah,
it's not no-brainer though. There's lots of fighters that have come out and said, my morals and dignity and everything I trained for. There was a fighter that was like, They approached me, and I said no, and still lost the damn fight.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's a no-brainer for the mob or whoever's doing this, right? Like, if you can make $250K and pay out 70, yeah, it's an automatic play for them.
Right. So, yeah, it's a lot of money coming in on one, and even still to do that to yourself when this guy was a big favorite. If he won the fight, could have become famous more in his country. Yeah. Oh, well, he's probably pretty famous now. Will he fight ever again?
Not famous in the way he wants to be. Yeah, he's toast at this point, right? I mean, you're probably looking at like Dana is going to put the whole he's going to put his thumb on this cat. You know, and we know that Dana's connected to the FBI and everything else. Like, I would not want to be in this guy's shoes right now, because Dana is going to do everything he can to make a point out of this guy and be like, look, if you do this, this is what's going to happen to you.
Yep. That damaged his product, man. Like,
yeah, 100%.
And then the people that came out and even said, like, I was approached, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he cuts them. Said you should have gone to the FBI, should have said something. Yep. Like, make an example out of this group of people, because it's the only thing you can do to alleviate, like, what we're saying, Bagz. Every fight moving forward, the product's damaged right now.
Fighters that didn't. Anybody can say anything. It's freedom of speech. People can come up to a fighter and be like, hey, man, you want to throw that fight for some money, dog? And they're like, you out of my face, bro. And they're like, no, 70 grand. You know what I mean? Like, that's just.
Well, and one dude even said that, like, the guy asked him, and he was like, what? And the guy was like, oh, just kidding. You know, like.
I mean, look, I've probably been drunk in a Vegas casino and run into a fighter and said that, you know what I mean? Just totally not meaning it.
Just being yeah. 100%.
I'm gonna come up in one of the things. They're gonna be like, they're gonna review the tape.
You do.
Go through all the podcasts. Didn't Bagz offer? You know, a guy 70K to throw a fight, and it's just.
I'm stumbling around the casino in the videotape.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's a mess.
What to do?
All right, so we got who we got? Chase DeMoor today. I guess he's fighting Andrew Tate.
Big fight coming up for him, and Andrew Tate being the new owner or CEO, or what's his position in Misfits,
CEO.
And KSI is gone.
So I'm going up to, you know, Mams Taylor was obviously at DBX in Nashville. I didn't know he was a Nashville guy. Just found that out, you know, right before the fight.
Did I see Mams out there?
Yeah, he sat like, dude, he was like literally 2 chairs behind you on your end.
Damn.
Anyway, I'm headed up tomorrow morning early. I'm going to go to the Vanderbilt game. Luckily, Diego Pavia, the Vandy QB, sat next to me during the fight. And I was like, I weaseled my way into some sideline passes for tomorrow against Auburn. And And then I hit Abe up, and Abe's like, bro, the Misfits is in Nashville. So Arlovsky's fighting Sunday night. So I'm going to stay and watch that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice, man. Have
no
a nice
idea who he's
weekend. Turn
What's
up
that?
time. Have a nice
turn up
weekend.
time, baby.
Yeah. Oh, I just trying to get stuff done here at the house. Local dad things. It's good for the spirit.
How are the bushes looking?
They need some work. That's some of the stuff I'm trying to get done here at the house. Some landscaping. So, that's just something on the list. And meeting with, finance and other types of things. That's all fun stuff in my older ages. Good
What
time.
about we start like a Mike Perry gardening channel? I feel like that would be a success.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but all my ideas don't work out when I speak to the people that I'm hiring for the jobs. I'm like, I was just going to get out here with a weed whacker and do this. And they were like, well, that's just a haircut. There's more equipment, machinery involved. So there's a boxing match tomorrow. Erickson Lubinson is taking on an undefeated 23-0 boxer. I think that's a really good fight.
Now, is
excited
Lubinson
to
your
check that
boy? I
out.
feel like you've talked about him before.
Lubin, yeah, I've done a bit of work, just a little bit of work with him over the years, and we've always been in the Central Florida area around each other. So,
Where's
never
that
worked
fight
with him
at?
as much as I wanted to, but
Where's the fight at, Mike?
yeah, thanks. Asking the tough question. It's on TV.
Okay.
Why is it doing this? Why is
Well, I'll find it on TV then.
Great. My screen just went crazy.
All right, we got college basketball kicking back up, which is nice. Sports starting to kick into gear. You know what sucks is that bro, when football ends and March Madness ends, and it's like there isn't, except
That's
for like
when winter's depressing.
NBA for like 4 months or something.
Yep.
But college football is getting good. We're getting down to, getting down to the end of it, close to the end of it. What, 3-4 weeks left, I think, in college football, then the playoffs. NFL's in full gear, cranking into the second half of the season.
We didn't ever talk about it. I know we're like 2 weeks behind, but that World Series was
Incredible.
And Yamamoto, Greg Maddux has always been like my favorite pitcher probably ever. Dude, I don't know. It's probably Yamamoto now. I mean, what he did, bro, was a movie. Coming in after, you guys already know the story. Just had to mention that. That was the most incredible World Series I've watched since maybe 2001.
Yeah.
All right. Guest of the day is in the house. Let's bring in Chase DeMoor. Hey, what's up, Chase? How you doing?
Mike, how's it going, boss?
I'm doing good, bro. Thanks for coming on ahead of your big fight against the boss, Andrew Tate. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling good. I feel very confident. Obviously, a lot of people are counting me out in this fight just because they're looking at my first fight, but they don't understand that, I'm training harder than ever. I'm coming off of, 9 consecutive knockouts. I'm ready to go put some belt to ass.
Yeah, belt to ass. How did you get that name?
It's a coined phrase from where I grew up, and I was at a press conference, I think, for my title defense against Kells, and I said it and had everybody dying at the press conference, and so they gave me that alias, Mr. Belt to Ass.
Yeah, there's a few fighters that use that. Howard Davis and BKFC, he uses that. But I didn't know you were on 9 consecutive wins right now. You kind of been a little bit in the background doing work, getting lots of training in. You used to stay in the news cycle with love shows. I forget the name of it. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on Love Island, but I know it was a different show than that. How do you mix, working on love shows and then ending up a fighter?
You know what? I think it's just you got to have multiple personalities. This is prize fighting. This is the name of the game. You got to have a character. And I think that, I have a great ability to separate myself from, doing the love and dating shows to being able to fight. And, I do a lot of work in the backgrounds because it's like I didn't have an amateur record, so I'm trying to get it where I can get it. And I always say, like, you can't teach somebody to be a fighter, but you can teach them to fight. And I think I always had that fighter inside of me. And so I do like these shows in Mexico, these shows in Colombia, and people will be like, level of competition. But to me, it's like, I look at it like my amateur career. Like, I'll go to the big stage and fight the Andrew Tates and fight the big shows. And then I'll go to Mexico and I get the work in. That's where the groundwork is, the foundation.
Oh, like,
where are you based out of? Are you based in Mexico or training? What?
I'm based in LA, so Mexico is just a quick 2-hour drive down there, and then I work with a couple promotions down there, and they give me like a fight basically every other month. So, I'm always in camp, I'm always training, and then we record these, and we're watching film back, and that's why you see the jump from Misfits event to Misfits event is like so astronomical, and people are always so blown away, but they don't realize I'm having 2-3 fights in between my last fights on DAZN.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, now I'm finding out about it. I mean, that's awesome. You're putting in the groundwork, working with some hungry dogs down there, I would assume, and then, fighting these people that want to make a name off of you, and you're not letting them. So that's pretty big. You got that experience before Andrew Tate. He's been talking a lot of trash before he ever signed this fight and became Misfits CEO. And then, he's saying you're supposed to beat him. You're bigger and stronger. Is he trying to play it up to make you fight less hard, or, you're going to bring it no matter what?
Yeah, I'm coming no matter what. That man has no idea where he signed up. I'm the worst decision he's ever made because he can say what he wants. The guy's got 70-something professional fights in kickboxing. Like I said, I come from dating shows. I've been boxing for 3 years. I'm banking on the fact that I want it more, that I'm more athletic. I'm a 6'5", 250-pound man. And if he was really, if you take it for what it is, and this is what people don't realize, look at his box rec. The guy fought in light heavyweight. He was 4-3 in light heavyweight against bums that he was getting knocked out against. And that he's talking about coming up to heavyweight. And if he was so confident that he was going to beat me, then why do we have, a weight clause in a heavyweight bout? Why are we fighting under 200 pounds? Why is there a rehydration clause? Why is it, his arena, his judges, his referee? Why did he can, it's rules in fighting. He could deny my gloves. I have to fight in house gloves. Why is he doing all this if he has 80 professional fights and he's not worried? Because he understands and he knows, he's a smart businessman, that he sees what I'm doing behind the line. He sees I'm in Mexico. He sees I'm getting 4 or 5 fights in between these Misfits fights. And he knows come December the 20th, it's not going to be an easy night for him.
Early Christmas for Chase DeMoor.
6'5", 250 is a big boy, but I'm going to have to say I don't think that's Andrew Tate's worst decision ever.
Fair enough.
Oh man,
I can't talk about that. That's
Hey Mike, what do you think? What do you think about Derek? We put together Derek Moneyberg and Chase DeMoor, and we restart the love business. Derek had the dating business.
Yeah,
bring him on.
We need to make a little money here, Mike.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well.
And another thing is like, obviously I fought, on my second or third fight ever. It was actually my third fight ever. I fought Alan Belcher, who is a bare knuckle heavyweight champion, who was active, who was much bigger, stronger, scarier than Andrew Tate. And, I went the distance with him. So like, I'm fully confident in my third fight. If I can last in there with a guy like Alan Belcher, then a much older, less seasoned, less skilled Andrew Tate, I'll be completely fine.
Alan Belcher is a big name drop.
Oh yeah, and Alan, we worked very closely together. That was, I give him loads of credit because, after our fight, him and his team, they reached out to me and they complimented me on the things they did good and obviously coached me on the things they did bad. And I went and I stayed with him in Mississippi for a little bit and trained with him. And that guy's like Mr. Miyagi, man. Had me out there punching trees.
Mississippi Miyagi, that's tight. Yeah. Mac, please go ahead, man.
What's the lowest weight you've ever fought at? Because it's like around 220, if I remember right, and he wants to fight right at 200. So, what are you anticipating that extra weight cut looking like?
Yeah, the whole reason I fought the lowest weight was at that 220 was we knew about the Andrew Tate fight. That was kind of like a test to see if we could come down. So I was actually contracted at 220 in that last fight I had against Nate Marathon. But it wasn't written out in the contract. It was kind of like word of mouth, like, Chase, we need you at 220. So I made a point to for at 219, made weight that morning just fine. And yeah, you know, he thinks he's doing something by draining me and putting this rehydration clause in, but he doesn't understand. Like, I've been doing this since, you know, August. I'm already at 215.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I walk around at 220 right now. So, you know, we're basically at the weight. We're just as strong. I'm just now wrapping up 40 rounds of sparring this week. So, yeah, you know, I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling fast, and I'm already at weight, and I still have a month and a half to go.
Let's go.
Let's go, indeed. Yeah.
He has no idea.
No, I mean 40 rounds of sparring. Is it tough to find sparring partners, you know, the size of Andrew Tate?
Yeah, you know, it's like he's got an awkward style. He fights like that kickboxing Muay Thai with his guard down, and like I think I heard his coach say something about how they're gonna practice distance fighting against me, which doesn't make sense because I have an 84-inch reach. I don't really know what his coach is telling him, but yeah, I think I'm the huge underdog in this, which I love because I think a lot of people are gonna make a lot of money off this, especially people in my camp that understand the level of sparring partners we're bringing in. I only train with world champions because obviously if you bring in other guys, you know, you have to worry about them leaking footage, being unprofessional, trying to take a piss, you know, clip farming, stuff like that. But yeah, you know, 40 rounds with, you know, professional fighters, Gerald Washington being one of them. It's really tough, man. It's, but I come fight night, it's all worth it. You know, those are all in the bank.
Trust me, I know what you're talking about, bro. I put those camps in and put them all together, cut the weight, and show up on fight night. It's time to have fun on fight night. And you know, Andrew Tate knows how to have a lot of fun, man. You know, is there something that he's got you worried about? You know, what do you think about him being the CEO? You're fighting the CEO of the promotion that you're fighting for.
Yeah, I think this is where he made his mistake. I assume that he thinks I'm going to go in there and I'm going to bend the knee. If anything, I have more to gain. My entire career has been... no matter how many times I'm winning fights or how many guys I knock out, it always just seems like people always reflect back on my first fight when I had the misswing. And, you know, I have more to prove in this fight than anything because this is a stage where the whole world is going to be watching and they're expecting this man to come out in the first round and starch me. Personally, at, you know, 28, 29 years old, I am now, you know, athletic, strong frame. Like if a 38-year-old man coming off his prison sentence, he comes up there and puts me down in the first, second round, then I would retire from fighting entirely. It's not for me. So I'm feeling very confident going into this. And I think if you remove the followers away from Andrew Tate and take him for what he is, a 4-3 light heavyweight boxer, and I was just fighting a random guy, these guys on the internet, these guys on Twitter would be like, oh, you're fighting a 4-3 guy that fights at light heavyweight. You're going to dominate him, you know, because he's got the cult following, because he's got this. People are trying to say he's more than what he is, but you have to take it for what it is, remove the followers, and then let's go fight. The followers aren't fighting for you in the ring. Come fight night.
It's kind of funny, the difference in your guys' followers. You kind of, from the dating shows, have like a women audience, bro. You got women chase
90%.
Yeah, he's got 90%. He's got the dude fan base, bro. Yeah, so.
Oh, it's so good too because I know how to rage bait him. Yesterday I went and I was getting like just a regular like manicure and I was posting it on Twitter. I was like, hey guys, just getting my nails done rather than train. Rage bait, rage. It was all the egos, all the beta males. I'm like, I love it. I'm feeding off of it.
That's funny. Feel like disrespected, like hey, he hasn't fought since 2020. And then he's making you cut to a certain weight, and then you wanted 10 rounds, I think, right? And he's making 6. Yeah. You think he's like trying to handicap you and like disrespecting you by thinking like I'm gonna come back after not fighting in 5 years, 38-year-olds and starch this guy? Like, how does that, you know, motivate you?
Yeah, bro, I'm the heavyweight champion of my promotion. Like, that's so disrespectful. You're going to come off the bench. And we know how these influencers are. Obviously, like, you know, they're handpicking opponents because it's bad for their reputation. But that's the worst decision you can make. So I take it like this. Like, he's coming off the bench after serving a prison sentence, not fighting in a decade, and saying I could go beat the top guy this is the number 5 pound per pound heavyweight champion coming off the bench. Like, of course I'm taking it disrespectfully. You're making me defend my title at cruiserweight. You're barking online saying you ordered and commanded this. Buddy, listen, here's the truth. The truth is they offered me this fight in July. I said, whatever he wants. Give him whatever he wants. Just put him in the ring. He wants the weight cut, fine. He wants the rounds, fine. He wants the gloves, the rings, the judges, fine. I had zero negotiation skills in this. I just said yes, put his ass in the ring so that I could show up and I could beat his ass. And I know we're not allowed to talk about like pay cuts and stuff, but if we're looking at who's getting paid more, that man, what I'm getting paid would be a fine that he would just brush off, you know? So I basically did all of this just to put him in the ring so that I could prove a point. And so that's kind of where the underdog and the chip on the shoulder comes from.
I mean, it's a big opportunity. He's made a lot of waves, and, you know, I used to have some opinions about him, and then the more like positive affirmations I saw him making, and like, yeah, he says some funny stuff sometimes. Like the one, I woke up one morning and it was him in bed talking about, time to wake up. You're broke! Ha! You're broke! You brokey? That one made me get out of bed. So, you know, I like Andrew Tate now, and him coming in and fighting. Actually, I'll respect the hell out of it if he gets in the ring. And I've been seeing a lot of sparring videos from him. You know, we got to see some of your training footage, and you know, fight week it breaks down and they talk to you guys. I can't wait to watch the whole thing come together right before Christmas.
Yeah, and like I said, like I think as a person, I think he's great. He says a lot of things that I would agree with. What he's done, like I don't know, true or not, whatever. But that's, you know, some of the things he says. I like him as a person. I've met him a couple times at Power Slap in Vegas and such, and he's always been a nice guy. But, you know, nice guys don't win fights. And yeah, I've watched his sparring footage. He fought like 30 bums. Like I could go beat up 30 bums and post it on the internet. And I look at he's fighting like little guys. Like I've not seen anything that I haven't seen before. Okay. I fought the biggest guy. I fought guys bigger than me. I fought guys more skilled than me. I fought, you know, every fight I have, I'm always been the underdog and people think I'm going to lose. And then I'm gone out there and I've knocked them out in the first 3 rounds. And I'm like, at a certain point, people have to stop playing clips from my first fight. At a certain point, they're going to realize like you guys are losing because you guys see one 30-second clip from my first fight ever, and you go, okay, I don't want to train that hard, or okay, I'm going to train against this guy. And then you get in the ring, and when you see somebody that's much bigger, taller, strong, and can punch, you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was. And I'm, you know, like I said in, you know, every interview, I'm the judge, I'm the juror, and I'm going to be the executioner, you know, right before Christmas.
Respect. Right? I like the response there. Seems very strong-minded. I want to take a little turn towards a fight that I heard was offered to you and maybe it just didn't come to fruition, was Jake Paul. And, you know, what are your thoughts on his fight getting canceled because Gervonta's allegations? Or, you know, what are your thoughts on the fighter that is Jake Paul?
Yeah, no, Jake he's done so many things for this scene, and I think he runs into like a similar thing with me, where it's like it doesn't matter how good you are, how much you do. I think that people will always just classify you as an influencer because you got a following. But you know, that kid trains with professionals and is a high level. I mean, like you fought him yourself. You can speak on it yourself. Yeah. But I think that he brings a lot of eyes and a lot of attention to what was a dying sport, and I can't do anything but commend him for that. And obviously, everybody wants the Jake Paul fight. Like, obviously, you were there. You know, you got to experience that. And I think you want it again. Yeah. It's a big payday. It's a big opportunity. Their team is easy to work with, but you know, I'm at the point where it's like, you know, I want him to continue doing what he's doing and making waves in the sport, and I want to do my own thing. I want to make my own waves. I want to be the next, Jake Paul. I want to be the guy that everybody wants to fight. So that's, you know, I'm taking the steps in the right direction away from Jake Paul. You know, the Andrew Tates, the Logan Pauls, the KSIs, you know, the Darren Tills. These are the type of guys that I want next. You know, Tommy Fury. You know, these guys.
Well, so like beating Andrew Tate obviously puts you. I mean, just skyrockets you. Like, what would be the next thing after that? I mean, it's almost like, knows who says no to fighting you after you take that scalp? So what would be the ideal next step for you?
I want 100%. If I'm dreaming, Conor McGregor. Obviously, everybody wants Conor McGregor. But,
hold on. I want that one. Bare knuckle, dog. I want that one.
But if I can't have Conor McGregor, my next step is going to be the Tommy Fury, just because, like, you know, he and I are very similar. We come from the dating shows. He's got to win on Jake and KSI. You know, he's kind of in the same position as me. He got to win against two big superstars. I'm going to go get a win against one big superstar. And, you know, I'm friends with KSI. I'm friends with Jake. So it's like, I don't really want to deal with that right now. But, you know, if I get a win against Tommy, then I also have, you know, two big superstars that I got to fight over.
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well just take out KSI and just start running Misfits yourself at that point.
I tell you, he called me up. He's like, bro, I really need you to come through. I said, hey, bro, look, go get your company back. Big bro is going to show up. I'm going to go beat him up. I'm going to save the day. Go get your company back. Go pick it up.
Dang, he said he's sending Tate packing. Going back, KSI is going to come back in. Maybe. Yeah. It's all a maybe.
Yeah, anything can happen on fight night, especially in heavyweight boxing. Like, that's what I try to tell these people online that are trying to put, you know, their opinions on there, that I have zero chance. That I'm like, guys, like, I lift weights, I can punch. Like, that man, anything can happen, you know, anything can happen. One punch separates any heavyweight fight. And, you know, I'll give him his experience where credit is due, but I also played, you know, a professional sport and transitioned into a different professional sport, you know, so we'll see.
That was going to be one of my questions for you. You were like NFL caliber athlete. How do you go from that to dating show to boxing? And then what do you think the number one thing that football and the level you played at, like, helps you with your boxing game?
Yeah, I think football gave me everything, you know, and I start with that because it's like I was one of the COVID class people, so it was really, really tough for my season. But, you know, it gave me friendships, relationships, and connections, and I used football in a way that nobody else did, and I pivoted it into content creation, which got me opportunities on Netflix's Too Hot to Handle and various other dating shows. And because, you know, I made a big wave in the dating shows and big waves in football. You know, I built a personality around it. It gave me an opportunity in the boxing space. And similar to like what I've done with football and what I've done with TV, now I'm doing with boxing is creating a name for myself in this space. And it's gotten me the Andrew Tate fight, you know. And then when I say, you know, you're building Legos here, it's like Rome wasn't built in a day. I go beat Andrew Tate. I know what's on the line here if I beat him. So it makes me work that much harder to want to accomplish that on fight night.
Hell yeah.
I got a question, Chase, about you getting into a scuffle with Nate Diaz. Was this at a Misfits or an MVP event? Where was this at?
We were in New Orleans. It actually happened twice. We were in New Orleans, and actually happened 3 times now, if you really want to play. So we were at the Misfits event, and his boy, I think Chris Avila, was fighting my boy Paul Bamba, RIP. And he picked up a water bottle and threw it at me. So I did the only simple thing, and I picked up a giant metal chair and I tried to throw it back at him. And yeah, anyways, that was the first little interaction. The second one was I was walking down Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and I just get decked in the side of the face by, I think, Killshot. And then I look up and there's like 5 dudes just running at me. I'm about to get jumped by Nate Diaz and all his boys. And so I'm sitting there just like, let's go. I'm fighting back. I'm pushing them off. I'm doing my thing. It's just me. And then the guys that I was with started getting beat up too. Ended up getting broken up. And then obviously, like, we have our back and forth online. And then I went to watch Jake Paul fight him in Dallas, I think it was. And he had me on like the don't let in, no access to the venue description or whatever. So I ended up getting like escorted out by his boys right before they fought in Dallas. So yeah, yes.
Damn, there's some beef there for sure, man. I'm trying to fight Nate Diaz right now, man. Either in dirty boxing.
Yeah, can you punch his speech back into him for me, please? Like, just
have you
give him one good one, make him talk normal.
Have you seen our promotion, Dirty Boxing?
Yeah, I've seen it. Didn't Gable just fight on that?
Yes, he was the main event.
And so did Killshot.
Yeah, Killshot fought
Brian Battle
by the left hand of Brian Battle.
Did he win or he got knocked out?
He hurt Brian, and Brian killed him.
Gary, pull up the Brian Battle clip.
Yeah, it was a banger, 30-second banger.
Yeah, just pull up the whole fucking thing. It's like a minute long.
Yeah.
Do you know I was actually meant to fight Killshot actually in August instead of Nate and Maricon, and that was supposed to be the Nate Diaz Miami card, and I ended up not getting to fight Killshot. But I was really excited to go punch him in the face.
You'll enjoy this little clip here when we pull it up.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
You know.
Oh, I can't. I'm gonna go DM him that clip right now with laughing emoji as soon as I get off of this.
Man, you're so cold.
What happened?
You're so cold.
I don't care, bro. That guy, he was in my DMs talking the most about our fight. He was just laughing. He's like, I can't. I was like, bro, I can't wait to punch you. Like some people, like I'm a realist. Like, for example, I know I could beat Killshot. I'll fight Andrew Tate. But Gable, I need a few years before I get in a ring with a guy like that. Like, I watched him fold somebody. I was like, okay, I'm good. Y'all got it.
Well, Gable's a big
Gable's
boy.
a
He
savage.
looks like a wrecking ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get that man a coach, and that guy's taking over the UFC. I swear to God.
Dang,
Dude, that follow-up
bro.
punch they had right there in that last fight. So ground and pound's obviously legal in dirty boxing. It's a little bit different. That's why it was funny. It was aura farming as he walked up. Dude was so rocked, he kind of forgot the rule set. And that's why he was just looking at him. Brian Battle dealt that last shot. It reminds me of your fight, and I've always been kind of curious. When you hit the dude after you knocked him out in boxing, I went, clear foul, all good. But what was going through your mind? Did you just lose it right there? You just wanted to tack on some extra damage? Like, what went through your head?
You know what? It was because that was my first fight off of the Josh Bruckner. And it's like, you guys got to imagine, I'm talking like, this is probably 8 months down the road. I'm every day on Twitter, tagged. I went around the world. You know, it haunts me to this day. And so I'm just like, all these people in my head. And I remember he was playing into it heavy, and he was talking about how he was going to starch me, and I was the underdog and so that. And we get out there, and I knock him out in the first round. And this is my first knockout in combat sports. So, like, that adrenaline dump was insane. So, when I was punching, I remember earlier in the locker room, I was watching Adesanya highlights, and I watched him do it the weekend before. And so he punched him, and I just, like, you know, I didn't new to boxing. I didn't know. I thought the referee was supposed to jump in and separate us, you know? So, you know, I was punching. I was punching until the ref stepped in. And when the ref stepped in, I was like, okay, I win. And then I didn't win.
I thought it was,
I'm 0-2.
I thought it was funny. So, adrenaline took over. Instinct killed.
Yeah. Instant kill. He said, fight until they pull you off.
Well, you've come a long way since then. You know, what can you tell us about what you've been learning and what's maybe changed in your fighting since we may have last saw you?
Yeah, you know, even since I fought Nate and Maricon, I've had 5 fights since August 30th.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say, the biggest thing is I had to make a decision after my first fight, even the second fight, even the third fight against Alvin Meltzer. You know, it's a rough start to any fight career going 0-3, but you make a decision. It's like, okay, is this really for me? Like, every athlete has that, and I think that not having a loss or 3 losses define you is huge. And I think that I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it for real. I'm going to get, you know, a real coach, be in a real camp around real, you know, killers in a real gym. And, you know, that old saying, it's like hang around the barbershop, you're going to get cut eventually. And so it's like I put myself in these high-stake environments, get beat up for a little while. And then when you figure it out, it can become dangerous. And, you know, I went back, I assessed, and then I started taking guys my level, and then a little bit better than me and a little bit better than me. And it raised me and it elevated me. And obviously it got me to where I'm at now.
Is that a little tough sometimes going to those hard knocks places and some knuckleheads in there want to get a piece of you, and you're like, you know, you're not the right look for this moment for me right now. I have a setup, I have a plan, I have a team, we're doing this, and you just want to fight me for free. It doesn't benefit either one of us. You know, is there any moments like that?
Yeah, there's a ton of moments like that. It's like, ego is the hardest thing you have to kill in this sport, because like ego will be your downfall. Ego will get you, and you have to kill your ego. And I think at first I had like this huge ego where I was just getting in there with guys that I should not have been in there with, and they thankfully we're not trying to take the piss right off the rip. They're like, okay, like there's levels to this, and you learn really fast in sparring. You hit people as hard as you want to be hit, and then you get some like lower level guys. The lower level guys, the click farmers, those are the really dangerous ones. And I would say, like, to answer your question, you really, it's really just, you got to kill the ego, because if you don't, then you'll never make it for the sport. It doesn't matter what you look like or, you know, what skill set you're at. If you want to get better, there's ways to get better. That doesn't include, you know, you got to get beat up a couple times, essentially.
Beat up by the right people.
By the right people, yeah, that's the word. You got to get beat up by the right
Who
people.
Don't have
the ones that are trying to help you.
I get it. Ego's the right word for it. You came out with that. Oh, is my mic working?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you good, Mike.
Sorry, it turned a different color.
I got one. If I'm not trying to hog all the airtime here, but okay, so you're interesting because you've been on these dating shows. Me and Mike talk about these dating shows. I watch a couple of them. They're crazy, dude. And then you look at like Andrew Tate and the way he talks about relationships and men, how they, you know, all his takes in dating. I want to get tell me some funny shit, dude. Tell me what you think about, is dating cooked, or like, you know what I'm talking about? Like what?
Yeah. You know, him and I, we got very different takes, but we also come from different backgrounds. So I went to school, and so my whole life, basically, I got through school basically flirting with my teachers, flirting with the girls, doing my homework, and it always worked for me. And they said one day it's not going to work for you. Then I got an opportunity to, you know, I started working at Starbucks, and I would just get really good at talking to people, especially girls, and I would just like quiz like different riz or like different pickup lines, and I had it every single day. Like Starbucks is the ultimate cheat code because I had it. Yes, infinite supply every morning, evening, and I'm just trying different shit, seeing what it works and does it, right? And so then I took that, went to school, got a degree in relationship therapy, adolescent development. I was going to be a marriage counselor, right? And so then I learned the whole marriage aspect, studied love languages and all this and that. And then I took that and I went on dating shows and I capitalized on it. And people were like, oh, you always have the right thing to say. You know what you're doing. And it's like, Mr. Tate has like a different approach where he like looks at women as like, I guess in his defense, like more of like he uses them like an accessory. The difference is it's like this age-old saying, like you can't go swimming without getting wet. And it's like, I understand how a girl thinks, so like I will say to them what they want to hear, while like I always say the term like learning how to lose an argument while getting my point across. So I don't go talking to a girl directly in dating for the intent for them to listen to me or to do what I say. All I'm doing is implying my thought processes and still doing what they want, but I still got my point across this whole thing, if that makes sense.
Let me grab a pen and paper. Hold on one sec. No, keep going.
And I think that like if there's one thing on this planet that I know is girls and it's dating, and I think that obviously like all my followers are really excited that I'm going to beat up Andrew Tate for a similar reason. So, you know, I think it's very polar opposites that are coming to collide for different reasons. So it's like I got all these girls that support me that don't give a about fighting. But the thing is like win, lose, or draw, they're all going to be there for me at the end of the day. Now, if Tate loses to me, Mr. Getting his nails done in America, all those girls are coming for his neck. They are coming for him. And all those guys are going to sit there like this. So it's like, like it's like, it's a win-win for me. And it's like, do I think dating's cooked right now? Just depends on what you're looking for. Don't be dating no girls in Miami or Dubai.
No, I'm good, bro. I'm taking, big dog. I'm taking. I'm married to a beautiful woman. We have 2 beautiful kids. So lucky me. But yes, the rest of y'all, I mean, it is dead in some popular cities for sure. For sure.
Yeah, you can't.
Everybody
be
just
out in
wants to have
Miami
a good time. Just turn. It's like a date when you go out by yourself and then you meet someone and y'all just have fun at the same time. It was like a date. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I was always a little envious of the dating shows. Like me and my wife at one time, we watched them so religiously Love Island and stuff, and I always made jokes about if we were on the show together, like how it would have gone.
You know, yeah, you know what it is? It's like, it's actually better that you didn't meet her on the show because it's like hard to build. Like, I don't know if you'd be married with kids. Like, I don't know if you know the statistics on reality show relationships working out, but not very high. And it's like, you got to think, bro, you trying to have a conversation, you try to date, you try to think of all the intimate conversations you have with your wife and then put a big ass 4X camera in your face. Like, and you're mic'd up too. Yeah, you're not gonna be the same person. You're not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be genuine. And then as soon as you go back into the real world, and because you know on dating shows you don't even have your phone, so it's like you go into the real world and you thought you was in love with this girl, and then all of a sudden like your boys are sending you her videos or like she's in this dude's DMs or vice versa. You gonna have some second thoughts. You're gonna be like, I didn't know this. This wasn't in the contract. This wasn't in the contract when we was on Fiji.
You see the power these shows have? Let me try to get my wife to put her phone down for 2 days, let alone 6 weeks. The show gets them to put it down for 6 weeks so they can meet some new tang or something, man. But that's cool.
And while you trying to date them too, they're gonna send in other guys to make it messy, and then you got to keep your cool. You can't even do nothing about it.
It's built for destruction. It is like you'd have to be Jesus Christ to get through that show.
Tommy did good on there. Tommy did it. He did good. You know,
he did.
I would have did good, but I probably would have hit somebody, maybe.
You for sure.
They should do like an Ultimate Fighter dating version. That would be sick. Yeah,
winner gets the girl.
That's what I told my wife. Once I found my wife on the show, I would have knocked somebody out and been like, "You coming or what?"
Yeah, let's go get our phones. Let's go get our phones. We're off the show now.
Yo, I got money. I got money at home. We don't need this.
You actually know, you'd be surprised. Like your first show, like I'm different because I've done so many, but the first show, when I did my first one, they told us they were paying us in clout. Like we didn't even get paid. It was like $2,000, I think. Yeah, my first one.
Doing it for the love of the game.
Clip and all that. Yeah, the second show, I think I got paid like 15, and then the third one was like 30, and then now I have like a 100K minimum. But like that's all the production can pay you.
It's
like,
an internship
talking about
to better opportunity. It's to get the spotlight on you when you have the faith and you know that you're going to be a star. You know, there's a different way to go about it, and you know you've actually taken the opportunity and done really well with it. So congrats to that, man. And you're doing the fight game. Got one of the biggest fights of the year, if not in recent years, coming up. Andrew Tate making his way back in, facing Chase DeMoor December 20th in Misfits Boxing. Man, that's a big shot right there, man. Congrats to you. And
thank you.
If my team has any other questions for you before, you know, and if there's anything else you want to say after spending time with us today, man, please.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. You guys have all been super amazing. Obviously, like, don't count me out, man. This is the fight game. I promise you guys there's something cooking, and everybody's in for a treat. You know, December the 20th. They're in for a treat.
Hell yeah. I'll ask one quick last one. Okay, dude. So Andrew Tate,
that's good.
Are up like astronomical recently. A lot of people say that's who gravitates toward Andrew Tate. I'm just curious. Drop some advice for how to not be an incel from your perspective. How to get?
Yeah.
We asked Moneyberg this last week. Like, what's your best line? He didn't have one. Wait. Drop me your best dating advice to dudes out there that might listen to Andrew Tate.
Yeah, first step, unfollow Andrew Tate. That'll get you really far. You're halfway there. You're halfway there. The second thing is guys, get off of Twitter. Like these sites and you guys are all sitting there just constantly feeding. It ain't helping you guys get laid anytime soon. And thirdly, guys, that streamer or that OnlyFans model that you guys are sending all your money to, she don't love you, bro. It's cooked. Wow. It's cooked.
Banger.
That's a good
perfect
message. That's a good
already halfway there.
The generation needed to hear it. Well, Chase, thanks so much for your time, bro.
Thank you
Good
guys
luck
so
in your
much.
fight. against
Appreciate
the
it,
Colts.
Chase.
Yes, thank you guys.
Go get him, dude.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Cheers.
Cool dude. Good personality.
Interesting. The marriage counseling thing sounds like just the guy works at Starbucks picking up chicks, gets marriage counseling, goes into dating shows. Boxer, amazing. He's cool.
He's
I
like,
feel
here's
like
how
he's
you
got his
manipulate
hands
women.
full.
Yeah.
Tate's gonna be a lot to deal with. He's been there, done that, had the money. Is he clean? You know what I mean? Like obviously has he done and now he's not on? You know, how does that work?
Who we
I say
talking
give
about?
him just
Tate.
mandatory across the sport at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was one that was vocal about, you know, from time to time putting a needle.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Chase or Tate?
Tate, not Chase. I don't think Chase. I think Chase is just young and strong, big kid,
Yeah.
football
250.
player, man.
He leaned out. He used to be. He looked more like a. Yeah, he's ripped now, but yeah, in football he was a big boy, big old dude. But
I felt like we said the same question a couple ways, a couple times, you know. But how do you feel about this? And then, you know, it's exciting to see Tate come back though if it happens. Like, I know he's promoting it. I feel like he'll get in the ring with Chase, and he's giving Chase an opportunity.
I'll just say it's a dangerous matchup, I think, for Tate in his first fight back. And especially like now that he's CEO, you know what I mean? Like to go in and still fight. I don't know, seems a little risky to me because Tate's got a pretty big brand that could be damaged there.
damaged badly. Yeah. I mean,
I don't
because
see a lot of upside for Tate, right? Like what's the upside? If he wins, even if he smashes this dude, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you fought a can, you fought a reality guy." That's what they're gonna say, right?
Yeah.
And then if you lose,
You remember the dude that was going around on fight one follower a day for a while?
Yeah.
And after like a week and a half, it was so viral. He was like being brought on people's yachts and to do it. And Andrew Tate did that. Dude, that's all Andrew Tate has to do for like to confirm to his followers that he's fight that guy.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It's like, bro, he is taking a massive risk here, and no matter where you place Chase DeMoor on like the, you know, how good he is or whatever, he's on a 9-fight win streak. You know, it's not like some dude that's like winning and losing and then he's just around. Bro, I mean, it's
if he's
weird.
that big, if he's got power, like he said, it's, you know, we're talking about that size, dude, one punch is enough.
Yeah.
I've recently seen Tate in videos. He takes some good hits. I think he's bored as a rich guy, and he wants to fight for a crowd, and he wants to get into the and dive back in there, you know, with Chase. So there is a third option on what you said, Bagz, is he has a good fight. That's the third option.
I fully respect it, you know what I mean? Like, fully respect it, but I'm just saying there's not a lot of, it's not necessarily, it's almost like a lose-lose situation for Andrew, in my opinion. Like, honestly, the Gable fight, right, was not really a win-win because it doesn't matter who beats. There's still a can in the eyes of, you know, all IG mouths. And if he loses, you know, it's a bad look. I feel like it's a little bit the same for Andrew, especially now that he's like running the organization.
Yeah. I mean, it's validating to some people. I mean, it's validating that he actually went out there, did it. Okay, you fought a fighter, not just like punched some influencer.
To me, it is, right?
As because we're hardcore fans and like we understand.
100%. But to the casuals, to the 95% of IG, it's not.
Yeah, to fit like the amount of talks and his influence, it's like he'd have to go out there to convince everybody. He'd have to beat Alex Pereira.
Yeah,
that's the amount of confidence he has instilled, and so that is the only thing that would make people that are this guy a hater. He don't know, like just not even just regular people. He knocked out Alex Pereira. Okay, this guy might have something happen here, you know. But for us, yeah, props.
Makes me think about the Tom Aspinall thing. Jon Jones was saying, you know, Tom's a quitter. He got his knee busted and right away, instantly, and then, you know, the eye poke. those weren't my words. That's not my words. I'm just stating what someone else had said. And it's like he blew up so big. He was the next big thing. He was the call. Like, everyone was like, no, you're ducking, blah, blah, blah. Everybody always got something to say. But, where you at now?
What's your take on it, Bagz? I don't think we have dropped our takes on whether or not he was, like, actually faking it or not.
So I talked to John about this a little bit prior to that podcast, dropping, and it was essentially very similar to what he said on the podcast. But personally, yeah, I feel like the same way. Like, he didn't take the time that he could have, right? The whole thing seemed odd. I'm just gonna say this: if he needed to stop the fight, then he needed to stop the fight. That's fine. But the he did after was lame. Like, the homeboy wanted to make a Netflix documentary about the aftermath on his eye poke, right? Dude, it was so cringe. Like, and his dad was talking for him every 6 hours. It was very bizarre. And then when you go back, right, and you look at the knee situation, was that against Blades, right? Dude, Blades had barely got punch off, and he falls back and he's grabbing his knee. I've never seen, you don't see football players that shred, every part of their knee, react the way that he did. I've seen guys tear ACLs, bro, and walk off the field by themselves, right? And this dude was like you had shot him in the head. So I kind of agree with John. I think that I think once he faces a little bit of adversity, he folds up a little bit.
What would David Goggins say? Life is hard. Stop crying about it. Be a man. Do some push-ups and go run some miles. With the broken leg. Who gives a
Yeah, I think Aspinall needs to bring Goggins in for his next camp.
Well, and I think he's so used to having such quick fights that go his way. He took punches from Pavlovich. He did. We got to give him respect on that, but nothing that busted him up. I'm with you, I think, exactly, Bagz. It's like he could have had a bad injury he couldn't see, and he knew right away. He played it terribly. Like, dude, don't say that. Don't say you immediately. It's like that's the term you say. If you know this sport, you cannot say that. You cannot say, I can't see. And this is the first thing. And it was like there was no battle to even really try to come back, and then the whole performance after. And so, I get it, dude. I get it. But you played it terribly. And, yeah, I think Jon Jones would beat Tom Aspinall, though. And I think the people that sat there and said for you.
We all knew. Anybody that watches fighting knew that before this
if you watch, you got to be a new fan to think Tom,
I think JJ and Pereira has obviously been the way to go. They've both been on a tear.
Dude, there's not a bigger fight than Jon and Pereira, right? Like, that is the fight that people want to see. It doesn't matter if Jon, folds Pereira up. It doesn't matter. Alex is the name. Tom is not. But yeah, I mean, look, to me, it was the days after, right? The eye poke that was kind of like, buddy, talk about aura points. This dude lost so many points in the days following that eye poke. I've never seen somebody lose kind of like the social standing that they had within the fight or within the fight game as he did in about a 48-hour period.
Yeah. See, if he went out there and started immediately talking about rematching and let's set this up right away instead of proving 100%. You're dude, just be on it. Just say you're. Let's get this rematch going right away. They said I don't have permanent damage. Here we go.
It's hard to feel ready for a rematch if you had to call out because you're struggling to see. And maybe it was one of those fights that was approached about money.
Well, see, but then that ended in no contest at the beginning, so there's no way that you can't even bet on it being can you?
Yeah, probably.
If you could bet on it being a no contest, But yeah, it hadn't gone long enough for there to be any prop bets payout.
I guess they couldn't have counted on the no contest. Or something.
Mike, what are your thoughts? What did you see? I mean, you're obviously the king of violence. You take more, probably damage as well as anybody in the fight game.
I told you my thoughts. David Goggins, don't be a little. Straight up, dog. I'm a little and I got to do what I got to do because there's so many bigger out there in the world. And like, I walk like a little drill bit, thinking, you know, no matter what happens, I'm a hard piece of steel coming at you in a spiral if I had to. And then I tell myself, chill out and everything's fine. I get some chicken and donuts and everything will be good. But, you know, it is what it is. We move along. I got to get ready. I got to get working, you know, building on strength in my hands. I got to lift more weights. I got to get my weight back up. My weight is not back up right now. I'm not even 190 anymore. I'm still a small guy after the fight and weight camp. And I did want to bring up one more thing about our guest today that I didn't want to bring it up while he was on because it's probably annoying. But have y'all ever seen that video of him with the bug landing on his forehead on the Love Show?
Think so. No.
Can we get production to please look up Chase DeMoor bug on forehead? Please watch this. I thought this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to Chase DeMoor because it's like my favorite video of him, but I felt bad, so I didn't want to bring it up. He looked in such good mindset for his fight with Andrew Tate. He's in trouble with the Tate fight. Tate ain't messing around.
Bro, Tate's minus 435. I just looked up the betting odds. That's a big favorite.
Maybe Tate, as Misfits CEO, is going to throw the fight. Chase DeMoor plus 350. Somebody put 16
Here we go, Mac. What were we saying earlier?
Look,
this is going to be
this.
every fight now?
Yes. That's exactly what we were talking about.
Watch this.
I feel like I haven't felt that.
Oh my! That was.
That's funny.
His face right there, just what? He's being all deep and reflective and like he's cockroach.
Oh, he's totally lying to get into her pants and a gigantic cockroach is on his forehead.
His eyes. Look at his eyes get big. His
I
eyes.
know. Yeah. The slow realization of what?
Oh my God.
His eyes pulse, bro. Like no way. There's no way.
Oh, that's so funny, man. I'm
It's
glad.
too funny, man.
Is that a red flag? Like, is that a red flag if you're talking to someone dating and like just a bug lands on their forehead right in front of you? Is that a?
That's funny.
I gotta say, it's like,
Lead us out, brother.
yeah.
I'm glad y'all didn't see that before. We got some more in store for you that you've never seen before. Just stay tuned. Hit that like and subscribe button. Overdogs Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we're out.